When I first found this Nissan 350Z abandoned in the woods, it wasn't even worth taking to the scrapyard, but I love this car so much, I decided to rebuild it here on the channel. And not only that, but we're gonna drive it down the road shortly.
Sure about that?
What's the worst that could happen? Previously on Elsie's World. Nice and graceful. We are going to remove the engine and transmission as one whole assembly. This isn't easy. Ah! Yes, dude! We have a 6-speed manual transmission. We need to do a manual conversion on this. I have to hear this car run. Please start. Oh! I'll see you next video. We're getting this car on the road.
Mike, this seems like the opposite of getting this on the road.
Yeah, well, when it was 3 a.m. and we put this thing in, I forgot to put new engine mounts on because both our old ones broke in half. We had a bad engine mount. It's ripped. So I'm having to take a little step back.
All right. And, what are you doing?
You don't like to have fun? I can't have fun in my own shop? Oh. I finally got these stock mounts loose. They're almost out, and I'm gonna show you a nice upgrade that we're gonna do. Because I have some free mounts that I have from a car. I've been hanging on to these for a really long time, and I'm finally gonna use them. But there's no free lunch, because the mounts I have are not gonna go right in, so we actually have to modify my aftermarket engine mounts. Out with the old, in with the used. So I've had these engine mounts laying around waiting for a day like today. I can finally put these to use, but there's a problem. So this is our stock one. They're just pure rubber and they break and your engine will hit your hood. Not good. The reason they're rubber is it insulates all the sound and vibrations from coming into the cabin and shaking your teeth to death. So what I'm gonna do is upgrade it with, these have a polyurethane bush. It's a little bit of a tougher bushing, and if ever fails, it will not go through the hood. The problem is these thick boys are real tall, and this one is real short. So I'm gonna measure this out, and it needs to be 100 millimeters. So I need to add that much. That's how much taller this mount needs to be. We could just put a longer bolt and stack a ton of washers, but that's gonna eventually break the bolt. So we need to cut this and re-weld a plate in to make these taller. So that's where we're gonna cut it. Goggles. The previous owner of this Nissan 350Z, their vice was Marlboro. We got a smoker.
What do you think a detail shop would say?
Mine is Wilton. Now that our filler plates are cut to the proper length, it's time to make some sparks fly and weld them in. want to take a moment to thank you all for watching, and thank you today's sponsor, FlexiSpot, for sponsoring the channel and supporting us 2 videos in a row, because last video they sent their ergonomic chair and this time they sent their E7 stand-up desk, which I will also be using as a workbench, because you know here in the shop we're constantly on workbenches and working on the ground, and well, just looking at this makes my back feel way better. This right here is a game changer when it comes to working long hours and keeping your back and your whole body happy.
Unboxing and assembling this desk could not be any easier. Everything is properly labeled and packaged for a very quick assembly. This desk has a weight capacity up to 355 pounds, and there are many desktop materials available, but I opted for the super solid wood top. The 3 stage legs are suitable for all heights, and the electronic keypad that you use to adjust the height even has a built-in USB charger, and the desk is even backed by a 15-year warranty and free returns within 30 days. Tom's Guide has rated this as the best standing desk of 2024, and I absolutely agree with their decision. FlexiSpot provides all kinds of standing desk and ergonomic chairs to meet your demands. So if you want a solid desk, I recommend the E7 standing desk with this 2-leg design. Now in the last video, the FlexiSpot ergonomic chair that we highlighted and endorsed is the perfect complement to have with this E7 standing desk. This thing is a huge hit because it allows you to sit or stand with a quick press of a button. My old desk was very wobbly, but our new desk is solid as a rock. Check the description below for a link to the website and use the discount code YTE730. Let's support these companies that help support this channel, and once again a huge thanks to FlexiSpot for these amazing products that you can purchase for yourself. Now let's get this 350Z moving.
Come look, I got it all done and dressed up, and this is very satisfying to say the least. It doesn't even look like it was modified, but if you look here on the back, you can tell where I welded it. But if you flip it on over, it doesn't. So when you dress your welds and take a little time to make it look nice, this is what you get. So now I just need to paint this and put it on the car. Whew! Let's bolt this engine down. We gotta drive it. I wanna go driving.
With the engine now bolted down, it's time to turn my attention to completing the automatic to manual transmission conversion, which starts with removing the automatic shifter.
Well, we have an unexpected problem. The automatic transmission tunnel is different from the manual because this is where the manual shifter is supposed to come out. And as you can tell, it's blocking bolts right here. So that's a problem. There's not a lot of information out here on these manual conversions on these cars, surprisingly. I guess no one just really tries to do it. But we can easily cut this and make a boot to fit, or we can try to find the piece of this metal that goes in a manual and weld it in or panel bond it in. I'm gonna have to figure this out.
Since I need to do some research and thinking on what to do with the transmission tunnel, I decided to keep moving forward and get the pedals swapped out and check the electrical system to figure out why this 350Z keeps starting itself without the key on.
That unplugs the pedals. This is all aftermarket, so someone has been under here. We're missing screws. Oh yeah, what the heck is this? What is going on? There's a huge box under here. See that? What is this? Valet. All right, yeah, this is some kind of aftermarket security system that we need to get out because it's making the car go haywire. What is this? Some kind of aftermarket grounds right here. Those are gonna go bye-bye. What the heck? Ugh. Blast from the past. This looks nice. That's a great install. Oh boy. I'm glad I cleaned the carpet already. 'Cause we're going under. Well, I don't know if you can see all of this rat's nest. Hey man, I think I jinxed us pretty bad. Got another box. There's some other module under here that does not belong. Like, this has to be a security system. This car's never gonna run again with all these wires. We're gonna drive this car at the end of this episode. Is this like a tracking system on this thing? Like someone was looking for this person. You know what? Bear with me. I have a plan. Okay. There, that's not so bad. This is a fire hazard. All right, gloves are off. What? This is what people do to cars. Oh, the wires are corroding. Look at that. They're like, no one's ever gonna try to fix this car up. Who cares? Just tie the wires together. Don't even use a butt connector. Just twist them together.
First of all, they didn't think you would find it in the woods.
Yeah.
Second of all, the last thing they think you would do would drive it.
Oh, goodness.
I feel like this was somehow harder for the person to wire it this way than to just do it
The right way?
the right way.
Honestly? Now that everything's out of the way, this isn't bad. Like, it looks horrible, but I can just repair all these.
First thing I'm going to do is clean all this green wire corrosion off with electrical parts cleaner, and then I'm going to carefully take the pins out of the connectors so I can slide heat shrink tubing sleeves over the wire to protect the wire, where they previously had stripped the protective sleeving off the cable.
I got that done and I put some cool like split braid wire loom on and some Tessa tape. It's made in Germany, and it's like cloth tape, but yeah, it looks cool. So I'm gonna plug this in and we're going to make sure the starter still engages. I'm gonna grab the key. I'm gonna try to find the key. We'll make sure the starter still turns over before I go any further, and if it does, then we'll tie this up. And then it's on to the clutch and brake pedal. Don't tell Freddie. Sometimes you have to borrow batteries from other cars.
This is not my problem anymore. It's his. But good luck, buddy. Good luck. You're gonna need it.
Hopefully we don't fry any cells in it. So if we did this correctly, when I plug the battery in, it's not gonna try to crank up, huh?
Huh? Okay. All right, so I'm just popping out the fuel pump fuse so the car doesn't start up and run. Also, while we're in here, this is the wire. If you're watching this video because you're doing a manual conversion, there is a gray wire down here with a red stripe. And if you put power to this, the car will bypass the clutch cancel switch. So a lot of times in manual transmission cars, you have to put in the clutch for it to want to crank up. I don't want it to do that because it puts a lot of pressure on the engine bearings, but it's kind of sketchy. If you're in a parking lot and you have it in gear and you try to start the car, it's going to lunge forward and hit whatever's in front of it, or if it's in reverse behind it. You got to be very careful. There's a reason it exists. I'm going to hook it up just so that no one wrecks this car after I put all this money into it. Okay. Got power. We got gauges. Come on.
Hey!
Yeah, that really wasn't that bad fixing all that wiring. It just looked really bad, but man, let's get these pedals in because we're getting close to being able to put on the core support and be able to drive this thing. So it might not look like it, but we're close. We're close. So easy. I got the brake pedal out, just the easiest brake pedal removal I've ever done in my life. This is the manual transmission brake pedal and the automatic. You see the pedal, it's way smaller. And this one came with only one sensor. So we need to swap this one in there. So this is for the brake lights. Boom. Oh yeah, it's easy. Just pops in, and as you can see here, when that closes, it hits the switch, but it doesn't because we're missing these guys, which someone already put a piece of plastic. There's supposed to be little rubber stoppers in there, but those actually go bad and they deteriorate and fall apart. So I'm gonna kind of do this method here and put a piece of plastic in that's not gonna fail and leave your brake lights on all the time, because that's kind of dangerous. So I'm actually gonna use the little plastic interior clip. We're simply going to put a little plug in. Oh, it's too big. There we go. Well, now they don't match. I don't like that. Why am I like this? It doesn't matter if they match, but I want them to match. Look. And those will last longer than the little like rubber plugs they normally have. Come on in, guys, and have a look. So this is what we're working with. So that's where I'm gonna drill for this clutch pedal. Here's our clutch pedal, and these are the clutch cancel switches that you need to wire into that power wire that I was talking about. I went ahead and put the brake pedal in, so I'm gonna hang the clutch pedal and make sure it looks right before I start drilling. Got the brake pedal where it goes. Trying to get the clutch pedal where it goes. Get a marker and mark it. Feels so good to run upside down like that. It's all the blood in your brain. It helps it to work more. Your brain works way more better when it's got all the pressure in it, right? Okay. That really hurts my head. You know, my advice on this, buy one that's already a manual. Let me show you something else we're doing here. Instead of using the factory clutch master cylinder, I want to use a aftermarket Willwood. This is a little kit I got. The bolt pattern's different from factory, so this will go on the firewall under the hood. So that way
it'll bolt up. So that hole and that hole line up. And then these will go in those factory holes I just drilled. Okay, so I see now. We need to go ahead and bolt this down because by our pedal, we'll just go. All right, we got the master cylinder in. It took both of us. I broke my #1 rule. Don't use the cameraman. It's in. I had to loosen the pump so we could get it in. It looks like it'll probably be making contact with it, but I'm gonna wipe all that out. I got it primed, so it's sealed off. All right, the pedals are officially in. I still gotta tighten them down, plug everything up, and clean up all this metal over my fresh new carpet. But the pedals are in. It's just the reverse now. I gotta put all these bolts back in.
I now clean up the interior trim before reinstalling it and make sure everything is nice, tight, and cleaned up under here.
It's always the small things that'll really make you angry. Hey, got it. Hey kids, go to college like I did and you'll, still end up here. All right, so I'm gonna make my own clutch line. I usually buy pre-made lines from Earl's, but we're out of time. I need to do this quick and I have all of these materials, so I want to show you how you can make your clutch lines and brake lines at home pretty easy. This is 3AN hose. It is a very strong, like AN is military grade, which some of you will argue is not good, but we'll use it here. So check this out. We got our hose, and this is a crimp collar. Normally you have to take these to a hydraulic shop. So you simply slide it on I got really lucky. Normally I battle this forever. There's some really nice air over hydraulic crimpers out there. They're really expensive, but they're totally worth it. This one is not very glorious. Now, I'll put it on the car and run the line up and then mark the line where I need to cut it to crimp the other side. So I got the line hooked up down there, and then I have it up here. I got another 90-degree fitting and crimped it. And it looks like, I think the best way of doing this, I'm gonna run it through this rubber piece right here. It would be nice to like drill and put a grommet somewhere down there to make it a little cleaner. But I think this is the quickest, easiest, and most effective way, and it gets it away from the exhaust. And if I did my measurement correctly, hey, check it out. Look, we fit right up. So now I can just tighten this up in this nice, really tight area, and then we bleed it. So I'm gonna get this button down and we'll start pumping pedals. You have to pump all the air out of the system. Everything is going perfectly to plan here. This isn't my proudest moment, guys.
Car's getting an IV right now.
It does.
All right, here we go.
Oh, whoa. I think it's working. I think we're good. We got a little fluid coming through finally.
After researching, I found that the manual transmission tunnel piece we need to weld in is discontinued from Nissan, so I went to my friends at Holley and purchased their lower shift boot that comes with the boot frame to give us a nice tight seal.
All right, I got that bolted down, hammered around, got it fitting flush. So now we put our center console in. Oh, that e-brake's tight. There we go. Yeah, it's very unfortunate that they discontinued that piece, but you know, I feel good with this piece. It's safe, it looks good, and it'll keep dust and hot air from rising up into our interior cabin.
Now that our shifter is situated, it's time to go back under the car and install the transmission crossmember and drive shaft.
This is bonding time right here. Right, so now it's where it needs to be. The shifter needs to be bolted in. Hey, look, there's a bolt up here. Thank God. I want to show y'all something you should know. The drive shaft, I have some good information for you here if you're doing this conversion. The MT, I went and bought this. That means manual transmission. AT is automatic. So this is the one I took off, and this is the one I just bought. They're identical. So I bought that drive shaft for no reason. Now you know. Now I have a spare. Oh, hey, I'm so excited about this. So thank you, Boozer at Boozerbuilt, for finding me this lift hiding out in Knoxville, Tennessee. And he brought it down here to me and gave me a killer deal on it. We will never have to roll under this car again.
Well, so much for that.
Come on. Oh man, the car's in gear and the e-brake's on, so I can't spin the wheels to line up these bolts, so I have to climb up above the car. You know what? You gotta put thread lock on these bolts so they don't back out. So I forgot the thread lock, so I'm gonna go back out from under the car and grab it. We should really put the lift up. Thread lock. So as you can tell, I need another 17mm wrench to hold the other side of the bolt because it's just spinning. I have one. It's up there in my toolbox, and we're both under here. Ugh. I'm so stubborn, I will not let this car win.
I think me personally, I think I'm okay with letting it win.
All right. The good news is, technically, this car could drive down the road right now with, well, never mind. We got to hook up the exhaust and the radiator and, you know. Dude, I need a lift set up in my shop. Really, really, really bad. Okay, I got a couple threads started. Oh, I need to get this side started. Dude, goodness, you gotta be kidding me. They both need to go on at the same time. I'll have to take this one back off. Let's see. A little bit. I always find myself in this situation. We should have put it up before we did this.
In hindsight.
Yeah, man, hindsight. And I'm having to clock these studs because there are 3 bolts and they're not lining up. Oh my God, oh my God, I got them. It's officially held in and lined up. Let's get these nuts all tightened up. You're probably wondering, why didn't I put a nice aftermarket exhaust on this? Well, I don't know. If you're enjoying this content, drop a like, put a comment down there for me, and hit the subscribe button. That would help me out tremendously. I appreciate you all watching and being here with me.
Now that I finally got the pesky exhaust reinstalled, it's time to do something more fun, which is putting my cool Brid seats back in this 350Z. I'm replacing every cooling hose on this engine because we had a failure. This thing was made in 2003. These rubber hoses are old, so they did a really good job holding up this long, but we're going to upgrade them while we're in here.
And I want to show you how we're doing it. Oh, see, look, that hose is already splitting. That's not good. So I have to use a lot of pliers to get to all of these constant tension spring clamps. This is how you do it. You just squeeze them and pull them off. These are really annoying, as you can tell, but they're very effective. And this is a little tool you should probably have in your toolbox. This is a really good tool to get these clamps off in really tight places. I've had to use every plier in my toolbox here. And yeah, you know, this is a nice upgrade. So come on over here. Let me show you what we got cooking. Look at all these fancy new silicone hoses. This is a better material than the factory rubber. So this is a nice upgrade. These will last even longer than these old rubber hoses. Check it out. This is the part that snapped in half. Whoa! This is made of aluminum, so it's not just gonna break. This is the bleeder valve. It lets steam and air out of your cooling system, so you have to have it. I'm gonna get these hoses on, get these mounts in, and we're moving along.
It's a common upgrade to replace these hoses because the materials technology has come a long way since this car was built in 2003, so I'm constantly finding cool updates and upgrades that many companies provide for this very popular Nissan Z chassis. All of these parts interchange with the Infiniti G35 chassis that uses the same engine, transmission, and suspension components.
Man, we really should have done this with the engine out of the car. This kind of sucks.
Yeah, that could have been easier.
You're not recording this, are you?
No, I just set my phone down.
Oh.
Oh, it is for accidentally hit record.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, edit that out.
Duh.
The last hose is going on. This is the radiator hose, and we are there. This is all silicone cooling hoses now, and even the power steering hoses and the brake booster hose are all upgraded silicone. This is becoming a nice little car. Tokyo Drift, here we come.
Dang it.
Installing the core support and coolers is a big job all on its own, but with the excitement building for our first test drive, we make quick work of this last big step. I turned my attention to the severely bent headlight bracket with a goal of getting it a little more straight to hold onto our headlight better for this upcoming test drive.
You know, we just needed to temporarily hold the headlight till I can find a nice one, but I mean, pretty close. I know I can find a used one somewhere cheap, and it'll be a much nicer repair. I could spend a lot of time on this, but I'm tired. So we'll put this in, and then we got actual Nissan coolant. I believe this blue is what Nissan uses, the blue coolant. I'm actually just putting full distilled water in here and letting it run so we can flush it out.
I now install my new hood hinges since the old ones were severely bent from the accident it was in.
Yeah, I guess when you get in a wreck, it catches the hood so it doesn't fly up. That's why that hook's there. So, I guess it got hit hard enough to drive the hood back. I've had to buy a few parts. We'll do a budget checkup. All right.
Yeah, I mean, this lady, she really took this thing on a joyride.
I think she hit everything except the
road.
yeah. It's gonna be a nice car when we're done.
I installed the new hood I bought secondhand off the World Wide Web, and it looks horrible, but it is not dented up and bent like my old hood.
There's no way you can even like see out of this thing. Well, at least this one fits. Look, our bracket almost lined up. What a turd. It's super glued, holding the fender to the headlight. I got this valve open, letting all the steam out. All right, you ready for the first drive?
I guess I have to be.
It actually cranks up so good every time.
Good start. It cranks. It's going out of the driveway. Now we're about to hit the road. My life is completely in this 350Z's hands right now.
Moment of truth. First time I've had this thing on asphalt. You good over there?
My expectations were, it's 1 to dead. I was expecting dead. And we're not dead yet, so.
Something real, something raw, not accidental, no, I'm sure you're not needed, sure you're
The
not
transmission off Facebook Marketplace works. See, I told you, man, this is a fun sports car, especially for the money. You cannot beat these things. They're so good.
You're not needed, show you the door. What's that here? You're not needed, show you the door. What's that here? Are you sure? Yeah, there's a rental, yeah, like
Okay, yeah, it's smooth. It's smooth.
It is smooth.
Always sure, or it never been that. I get people just to relax. Yeah, money now, yeah.
I know we can like make it look good. It's just gonna take a little bit of work.
Yeah, because this is a toilet with an engine attached to it right now.
Don't worry about that. Flexing, yeah, but your soul is empty. Dripping in diamonds,
Hang on, how do I look? If we're running over rocks or if our tires coming apart.
Yeah, it's the gravel. Yeah, we're gonna say that's the gravel. I'm gonna just in my mind say that's the gravel.
Where's the GoPro? There it is.
Yeah.
We found it! GoPro, it's still recording! It's still recording! Oh baby, we got some road rash. Oh.
It's alive. Is a GoPro really a GoPro until it hits some pavement?
Alright, we're just gonna start recording that.
This has been a lot more work than I anticipated, and this car has really tested my patience, but it's shaping up to be everything I wanted it to be, but there's still room for improvement on the suspension and the body because it looks awful. But we'll fix that on the next episode, so strap in and we will see you there.